Marc, it always has to be fun, something interesting, and the clothes are already fabulous, so we try to make the makeup, go with the clothes. So we came up with a very almost romantic, always a little bit decadent look with a very smoky eye, very round and very almost like dust around the eye. Try to modernize it by not putting any strong lips, so there's no lips, very pale lips, and very pale shiny skin.
Mine is the supporting part today. Yes, it's a few tendrils that are going to be brushing across the face as the girls move. So really little knots you're seeing are just like a supporting act to anchor these amazing hats that Marc and Stephen Jones have made. You might see them if you look under, but no, they're not a feature. The only bits you're going to see is a few little tendrils. What's amazing about Marc, he wants the sort of inside to be as sort of worked out as the outside. So the feeling that it's not just a knot, it might be this kind of thing that this girl that he's created might do to her hair.
Oh, we had fun. Well, some fun. We start always by doing fabrics, and again, we were looking at things that we hadn't done the fall before, and we're looking at very textured tweeds and paisleys and things that were, I guess, associated with kind of conservative dress. I love the idea of Edwardian and another time, and I love the idea of fur coats, but I didn't want them to be worn as fur coats. I wanted them to be on the head. And then I worked with Stephen, and we created all these hats.
Working with Marc is wonderful. We've only been working together for about maybe 10 years or something now. But we were friends like way back when. And it's great to work with him. And we've done a wonderful hat extravaganza this season. Every girl has got a hat. Every hat is different, whether in colour or in shape or in fabrication. It's very much as an enlarged volume, an enlarged proportion. It's something ever so slightly cartoon about it and whimsical about it, as every lovely hat should have a sense of fantasy, and glamorous and beautiful too. And the rest is a surprise.
I think really from his very earliest collections there's been a kind of levity and playfulness. There's something a little bit antic about it, even when actually the clothes can be reflecting perhaps a sort of darker mood or moment.
There was a kind of, I don't know, broody naivety to the crochet. There was a kind of humble, sort of sad, I don't know, almost poorness to it, but it was really elevated to this rich, cartoony. It would be like as if a cartoon animator was doing something moody.
I mean, I think this show is just so impressive with its imagination that you don't even sort of know where it comes from. And I mean, the music was Oliver, and it was sort of had a carpetbagger feel, so maybe a little bit of turn of the century England, but I mean, it just kind of incorporates such a bigger picture, and the set by Rachel Feinstein. I just thought it was incredibly full of interesting, imaginative clothes.
He was just asking me whether I'd be interested in doing the set based on widows and pilgrims and all these kind of weird, esoteric type of depressing winter symbols, and I said I'd love to. And so it's all been like basically 12 days, like from start to finish, which was crazy, this whole set.
It was a winter wonderland, from the music to the hats to the layering to the handmade feeling of those scarves and the texture and the volume and the color. It was just extraordinary. It was joyful. It was a joyful show.
It's fun, it's playful, but it's very elegant at the same time, and I think it makes you, you're a woman, but you feel so girly, and it fits so well as well, and you can never underestimate the quality of the pieces, and it's really timeless.
I'm wearing two huge scarves. It's very green knit and gray, and they're very bulky, and the skirt is paisley and glittery and fabulous.
I think he's just very connected to the pop culture, to the arts, and he follows his instincts and is very brave. He is not afraid, so he goes for it, and that's why he is where he is.
The only thing that one has come to expect is the unexpected, which is sort of great. I mean, he's just one of these designers who's constantly reinventing the wheel. I mean, his whole shtick is that it's an entirely new response to how he's feeling and the influences and his personal experiences and how he filters that into his collection, and it really changes every season. But I mean, there are still very identifiably Marc Jacobs.
I think that he's kind of the only one that really takes, I mean, he just takes risks, and everyone's always afraid to take risks. A big thing about making it is that you're afraid to try new things because you think you're going to lose your followers, and he is always pushing it, and he outdoes himself every single time, and I just don't know how he keeps doing that, He's like an endless well.
Started looking at different references, this website, Advanced Style, which shows more mature women who really are fearless in their way of dress, and thought of contemporaries, my contemporaries, who are also fearless in their sense of self-expression, like Rachel, like Cindy Sherman, like some of the journalists that you see at fashion shows, like some of the bloggers that are working now, and also just some of the people who are really enthusiastic about fashion, who weren't interested in plain or what was right or proper, but what was delightful and exciting and just mesmerizing in some way.